afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we put that up on the big screen?
July the 26th to order, please. Chair Winslow and Commissioner Gray may be joining us by telephone. All right, we have two sets of minutes, June 28th and July 12th. Both sets of minutes were amended, and we all have the new minutes. May I have a motion, please?
I so move that we adopt the corrected minutes dated July 12 and June 28.
A second.
Okay, any question on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a consent agenda with two items. Are there any questions on either of the items, or would either of the commissioners like to have any of them removed from the consent agenda? All right, well then we'll need a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
I second it.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. On the regular agenda, the first item is the matter of the application of Chesapeake Utilities Corporation for a general increase in its natural gas rates and for approval of certain other changes to its natural gas tariff. It was filed in December of 2015. Let's see, we have Mr. O'Brien for Chesapeake. Would you like to go first?
Thank you, Madam Acting Chair and Commissioners. Bill O'Brien on behalf of Chesapeake Utilities Corporation. What you have before you is proposed order number 8921, which would approve the company's request for a second interim rate increase associated with the rate case filed in December of last year. As you are aware, the statute in Title 26 allows for an interim rate increase at 60 days after the filing of a rate case with a certain cap on the amount allowed for that interim rate increase. And then at 7 months after the filing, the statute allows for another interim rate increase with a higher cap than what's at the first one. Both of those increases, of course, are temporary and subject to refund based on what the final approved rates are. So the company has filed its application for this second interim rate increase. Staff did provide a memo with a recommendation, and the DPA and staff counsel and the company, staff counsel drafted the order, circulated amongst the parties, and now Chesapeake is urging the approval of order number 8921.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. O'Brien? All right, I think we have Brenda Mayrack for staff.
Thank you, Madam Acting Chair and Commissioners. As Mr. O'Brien has described, this order, which is proposed order 8921, would approve interim rates as they are permitted by statute after the 7-month mark has passed after a rate application. It also contains a waiver of the bond requirement, which is due to Chesapeake's financial arrangements and access to be able to provide any refund that might be appropriate, and that these rates are subject to refund after the rate case has concluded, which is proceeding before the hearing examiner as we speak. And staff would urge adoption of this order, and Mr. Jason Smith is available if the Commission has any questions.
Questions?
I have a question about the refund, that with the money put in the bond account or reserve account, if there is any interest, even though nowadays there is no interest or negative interest, will the customers get it back or corporation keeps it?
Commissioner Correa, I believe the rules, they require a certain interest rate be applied to the refunds.
Oh, okay.
So we would comply with that rule.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Ms. Iori for DPA.
Thank you, Madam Acting Chair. The public advocate has had the opportunity to review the proposed form of order and is satisfied with it and urges its adoption.
All right. Would DP&L like to, are there any questions of the DPA? Would Delmarva like to? Okay, and is Mr. Thomas Jernigan here by any chance? All right, that's it. You have before you order number 8921. What's
Motion
your
to adopt order number 8921 as presented.
I second it.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. All right, the second matter on the regular agenda is the matter of the petition of Direct Energy Services, LLC, to request the Public Service Commission to issue, on an expedited basis, an order directing Delmarva Power and Light Company to distribute an educational bill insert regarding the options available under the contract awarded by the state of Delaware. And you have before you order number 8922. Now, I see that Mr. Goodman has come forward. Is Tara Latimus here?
I'm here. I didn't realize that I needed to come forward.
That's all right. We'd just like to, your name's here, so we'd like to see you.
Commissioners, this is my co-counsel and colleague, Dan Clearfield. He's also a
Okay,
veteran in
fine.
our Harrisburg office. We have filed Pro Hoc papers for his admission.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Okay, and Ms. Mayrek, you're ours, again, you're number one.
Yes, thank you, Madam Acting Chair and Commissioners. Just by way of background on this matter, as you may be aware, last year in 2015, the General Assembly passed in the bond bill Section 68, which established the Electricity Affordability Program, which directed the Secretary of State to chair a committee to consider consumer choice issues with respect to electric suppliers. The result of that committee's work was to issue a request for proposal, an RFP, to solicit offers from electric suppliers to contract with the Secretary of State to offer a particular electric supply option to Delaware consumers who would have the option to opt into that program if that was their choice. Direct Energy Services, LLC, was the winning bidder of that RFP process, and they have since executed a contract with the Secretary of State whereby Direct Energy will offer their proposed electricity supply option to Delaware consumers. And Direct Energy has filed a petition with the Commission asking the Commission to order Delmarva Power and Light Company to include a bill insert which would contain information about their electric supply option. Of course, just to clarify, the contract that Direct Energy has is with the Secretary of State. And of course, this commission would regulate Delmarva Power and any bill inserts. In the petition, Direct Energy does offer to pay or commits to paying the cost involved with both the printing of the insert as well as the mailing and any other costs involved. So what is before this commission today is not the substantive merits of this proposal, but a procedural order that would open a docket, set an intervention and comment deadline for August 31st of this year, also provide for public notice to be published in 2 newspapers, and for notice of this docket to be sent by mail to all of the certificated electric suppliers in Delaware, and there are approximately 40 of them. It also sets a hearing for the Commission to consider the substantive issues of this matter on September 20th, which is also the date we'll be considering the Exelon-Pepco merger, so that may be a long day, just so you know.
Okay.
Staff drafted this order. We circulated it to Council for Direct Energy. We circulated it to the DPA. The DPA has intervened in the matter. We also circulated it to Council for Delmarva Power, anticipating that they would also be intervening in the matter after the docket is opened. And I believe the DPA and Delmarva are not in opposition to the order. I believe that Direct Energy is also not in opposition to the order, but I will let the parties speak for themselves. So staff would urge the adoption of this opening order, which is a procedural order, to set the framework for the Commission's consideration of this matter on an expedited basis.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions of Ms. Mayrack? All right. Your turn, Ms. Latimus.
If you don't mind, Direct Energy is willing to accept the order. We think it's an important aspect of the contract that was entered into, and we believe that it would be to the benefit of all the customers to have this program. But today, I understand that we're establishing the procedure, and we're perfectly willing, in fact, eager to have a process where we can engage and look at all those issues.
Thank you very much. Any questions? All right, and number 3 is Ms. Iori from the DPA.
Thank you, Madam Acting Chair. As Ms. Mayrack represented, the DPA did have the opportunity to review the proposed form of order. The DPA did make some recommended changes, which were accepted, and the DPA supports the form of order that is before you.
Any questions? All right, Mr. Goodman from Delmarva.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I just say chair. Good chair. Todd Goodman, Delmarva. Good afternoon. We're absolutely fine with the order, and we appreciate the way it was drafted and shared. Enough time to let everyone throw in some, comments, work together to get it right, and I appreciate that. The only thing I think I want to mention is that I think Ms. Mayrack said that they expect Delmarva to intervene. I think we're already a party because we're sort of the defendant, for lack of a better word. It's an order to make us do something. We're the respondent. I don't know if we would be intervening. I think we're in. When someone's trying to force the utility to do something, I think we're kind of in. I mean, I don't think it has to be decided here, but I just thought I'd mention that. Maybe Ms. Merrick and I can discuss it. That's all.
Certainly, we can discuss.
Okay. Any
If
questions?
not, I move to intervene right now.
And Direct Energy does not oppose.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question for Mr. Goodman. Is this the first educational insert of its kind regarding the awarding of this contract?
Sorry, I go being a lawyer. It's an advertisement. We don't consider it an educational insert.
Okay.
But yeah, we have never, ever, ever done this for anyone. We do not allow any competitive entity to use our bills or our billing inserts. If you've already obtained a customer and you're one of the 40 other suppliers, then we give you quite a bit of space on the bill to communicate with them. That's a different situation. So no, it's never been done ever before.
May I just comment that it is an educational insert, notwithstanding Mr. Goodman's characterization. The purpose is to educate customers about this really fabulous program that the state has decided to enter into. And it's distinctly different than other advertisements because it is pursuant to this law. And I would say it's very similar to the kinds of ads or kinds of notices that Delmarva regularly does, either at your direction or voluntarily, about safety, about low-income customers, about understanding their bills. So it's in that category because of the fact that it's because of the special nature of the contract.
I have a question.
You have a question?
In any other state, if you have contract with the state like you have with the state of Delaware, have you tried these, or have the private utilities allowed you to put in, or do you have a precedent?
Well, I guess if I could just interrupt, I think these are substantive issues that go to the heart of this matter
You are
that
right.
may be better explored by the Commission when parties have had the opportunity to
Yes.
intervene and
You are
file
right.
comments.
You are
Because
right.
what we're kind of getting is a preview of the issues that we'll consider on September 20th without the benefit of any other suppliers or parties who might want to participate.
You are right. So I respectfully and humbly withdraw my question.
Both sides have had
Please
their
remember
say.
it, Your Honor, 'cause it's a good one.
I don't know if mine is substantive or not, so I was just like,
We're just being lawyers. We can't help it.
All right, there being no other questions, we have before us order number 8922.
I move that we adopt order number 8922 as prepared and proposed by the staff.
a second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and there's nothing under hearing schedule. Are there any members of the public who wish to be heard? There being none, we'll go to director's comments. Mr. Director? Bless you.
Madam Acting Chair, Commissioners, I did have just a couple things to make sure you're aware of. Just to keep you informed, back in 2014, a prior commission, with the exception of the acting chair, approved an order to review standard offer service that Delmarva provides to its customers. This was back in August of 2014. That effort has continued on. London Economics International has provided staff with a report back in April suggesting a portfolio approach. Staff conducted a workshop this past Thursday, and in that workshop, Delmarva Power, the Public Advocate, the Retail Energy Supply Association, and others had an opportunity to examine the findings and the report information that came out. And there was a really good opportunity for discussion. A lot of issues surfaced, and all the parties participated freely. As a result of that workshop, there was originally scheduled an August 12th date for final written comment. But as a result of that workshop, and because of the magnitude of the issues that want to be discussed by the parties, staff has agreed to push that notice date to August 31st of this year. So I just wanted to make you aware that we are proceeding with that SOS review, and written comments from all the parties will be due in now on August 31st.
Thank you very much.
The next commission meeting is going to be on Tuesday, August the 9th at 1 p.m. sharp. And I think that's all I have, Madam Acting Chair.
Is there any other business to come before this body? There being none, we stand adjourned. 18 minutes.